So she his mama too? Because she named everything that a mama would do for a kid.
They told me not to make his lunch.
Oh, okay.
They told me not to fold his laundry.
They said that?
They told me not to pay for dates.
Okay.
Take me through there. Take me through there. What you talking about? What you talking about? Pack that nigga lunch.
You're interviewing, you're an employee, whatever you want to call it, but it's like, I mean, I've said the same thing before, like the same thing that we can give more respect to our boss because he pays us, but your husband, you don't respect him, right? Because he like, so it's like how it's a big gap in like how we see things as women. That how can you give your boss? How can you show up on time for your boss? You know how you can all the rules, how you can, but when it comes to your partner, your future husband, you don't care if you late, you don't care if you don't, you have no care. And it's like it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely agree.
It makes no sense. Yeah. I'm going to share this lovely one. This one is let me see how long. This one is a little bit long, so I'm not going to probably play the whole thing. But this woman was very vocal and I don't know, a whole bunch of nothing.
Y'all, hear me out, okay? Hear me out real quick. There is a video trending online right now. There is a nice looking woman with a beautiful red dress on and a small Gucci purse in a restaurant flaunting a ring, right?
I first want to say when I saw this, I was like, that was super shady. Super duper duper shady of like, I don't know what did the small Gucci purse have to do. Like, I was just like, these women are so like, it's just like, even that alone, identifying that shows how much there's the jealousy and envy that person has, like to be like, what did the Gucci purse have to do with? Like, what did that have to do with anything? But that
absolutely just irrelevant. Like,
but that just shows how much you really, there's something about you that really is intimidating. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that, I just want to make sure people understand, like, this is how much they show their jealousy and their envy in what they say,
It's,
so in
it's this deep.
Yeah.
And she's like, they told me not to make his lunch. They told me not to do his laundry. And now I got a ring. Not saying that there's anything negative about that, but let me think logically, because my mind instantly has no choice but to think critically, okay? So I'm thinking like, as a woman, I view myself in a high standard, right? And I personally don't understand why women, when they talk about being married or getting proposed to, is always what they're doing to show the man that they can be a wife and a good wife. Like, I cook for him, I clean for him, I wash his, like, damn it, do you wipe his ass too? Are you his fucking caregiver? Are you his mama CNA and all that shit? Like, what did he do for you? Like, okay, like, why do women never think, like, instead of wanting to be validated and chose so bad, do y'all ever sit up and think like, is this man worthy enough of me to take myself off of the market? Is he worthy enough of me to risk my life and lay down and have a child for? Is he worthy enough for me to allow him to make me his wife? Like, think about it, right? What she's saying is only a flex if what she was doing was strategy, because she seen that man had something to offer her in the long run, right? And you can say what it is you want to say, but men do the same thing. It's called choosing better. It's called vetting and having fucking common sense. You're supposed to do that if you're going to be with somebody for the long haul, right? It's only a flex to flaunt a ring if behind being married in that paper, in that ring, he's providing for you. So repeat what you're saying and then think about your life 5 years from now. I got a ring because I cook and clean it. Okay, you cook, clean, but are you paying 50% of the bills? Because, bitch, I guarantee you, if you paying 50% of the bills, he ain't finna cook, clean, and do your motherfucking laundry. So you watching shitty-ass draws. You over here sitting up there cooking for him, cleaning for him, packing his lunch and all that shit, but you're still working.
So I'm going to stop there because there was obviously a lot said, a lot. There was a lot. There was so many things. It's again, it goes back to what you said. There's so many assumptions that, like, all of the things of like, how did you get to the point that obviously, like, that you didn't choose a man who was worthy of you doing these things? Like, what? Again, I think that this so shows that they are so used to women not choosing good men that there has to be something that you probably chose a man who's not worthy of this, and it's just like, again, like you're saying, you're thinking logically, but you're also thinking critically, and again, it's just all these assumptions, and again, it just shows that you don't understand what it means to be a wife. You don't understand what it takes to be a partner. A partnership takes work. And I always say, like, again, if I did work, pay bills, and still cater to my man, why does that bother you? Like, why is that an issue? Like, average couples are working. That's, like, I've always said that one thing that I personally feel within my marriage, that I'm not a tit for tat person. Like, I like to cook. I'm not going to be like, well, I went to work today, so you have to cook today because it's your turn. And that's just very petty and trying to like make this even playing field when it's not even. Like, my husband has his role, I have mine, and sometimes it's going to be 70-30, sometimes it's going to be 60-40, sometimes it might be 50-50. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. But for them, it's just again, you're the maid, you're the employee. It's all the things.
Yeah, for sure. First and foremost, when the video first started, I already knew what direction it was going to go. Where you paused it, it started off with a lot of animosity. There's a lot of people that are unhealed, and I think a situation like that really exposes the lack of therapy and a lack of just addressing whether it's childhood traumas or they didn't have good examples of healthy marriages or healthy relationships. And that video was honestly pretty hard for me to watch. Okay, there we go. Honestly, pretty hard for me to watch because it was hard to even get it out. And I think it was like one of those things where it's like you're trying to come up with a reason to be. Yeah, you're trying to come up with a reason to be on the defense or a picture or paint a picture that doesn't exist. The fact that you concluded that I'm not provided for, that my man doesn't take care of me, that my man doesn't do this and that, it's very much so reciprocal. And I think if we want to use her words, critical thinking would tell you that it was more of a response to what was already being done versus me leading with those things and expecting a after. And so, without even feeling like I had to even explain all the things he did, just to kind of pop my shit a little bit, it wasn't a restaurant, honey. It was not a restaurant. My man rented the whole penthouse for me. Okay. So that shows you right there that people will try to minimize certain things in certain situations. The Gucci person is a little purse, the small red dress. It's just those type of words and that type of verbiage to me. And I hate to say it and I hate to equate everything back to jealousy, but that's the only explanation.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. And so, I don't really understand what the point of, like, I didn't get to the actual point of, her point of view. And I don't think for me, I would even understand it, even if there was a point. But I just know that, based on my relationship with my family and the characteristics in him and how we decide to pour into one another, just speaks volumes to, like we're mentioning, the partnership and a team effort and a team aspect of things. And for me, how can I expect my man to perform at a certain level if he's pouring from an empty cup? Absolutely. We have to recharge one another. We have to pour into one another. If I want him to perform at his best level, and if I want him to give me, exactly what I want, and the things I desire, and scratch my itches and all the things. It's like I have to pour into him. He's going to be exhausted. He's going to be weighed down. He's going to be unhappy, and therefore he cannot serve me. So it is a two-way street.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It is. And I agree. I think that what it is definitely jealousy. And I think, as you said, like I think a lot of women just wanted to be on the hate train, like we see that often, like it's like one person, so they just have to find a way. Even she said, it's no problem with it, but you still go into finding to make it a problem, like you're trying to say it because again, you're just trying to find anything to say to try to jump in the conversation, and I always say this, this is just my personal opinion from my experience. I'm like the ones who always got something to say. They have a certain look to them, and they look, they live a certain life that just doesn't always align with, a type of woman that would see things this a logical way. And, like I said, like they just don't. And even that, like I said, even the idea of just in some way, somehow trying to be passive aggressive about your outfit, your bag, it was still just showing like, like there's something behind that in itself. So I just find it so interesting, as you said, that we as women are just so, a lot of them don't know how to be good women, a good woman to a man, like they have no idea what it means to recharge a man and to refuel him and to support him. And they have no idea, and I think that there is this, again, there's so much more love and support for the just saying F men and leaving them alone and just, leaving them to be than it is to say, let's cater to them. I don't know if you remember this a couple years ago when the women were trying to get catered to you, like band, like the song from Destiny Child, like petition signed. It was like during the pandemic. They wanted to get a petition signed, and people signed it because they felt like it was like thinking about the song, it was all about a man, and we don't do all this stuff for a man. And this was like, how do we turn something that is such a beautiful song about loving your partner and catering to him, that we are now in this I hate men world that we want to just take the song away? And it's like, what about the people who like it? What about the people who like catering to their man? You know what I'm saying? So it's things like that when you, like you said, when you do these things, you're male centered, but it's like, again, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with being that way for your partner? Just like you want them to be all about you. Again, I think they've never had anybody to be about them that they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand what it is,
Yeah, what it really takes. And I did see a lot of people say, well, I did this for 8-something odd years and it didn't lead to a ring, and I'm scared to do it again, or whatever the case is. And that's why I say I don't invalidate people's experience necessarily. However, your level of discernment is your level of discernment. Exactly. I wouldn't have waited 8-10 years. And so that's a difference in discernment and vetting and clues and red flags, etc. You can't allow your experience to diminish the experience of someone else and to dim someone else's light. And it's just a lot of unhealed women. It's a lot of unhealed people in general. And they take this opportunity to, I don't know if these platforms empower them, or like you said, they get with a group of the sisterhood or the hate train. And it's a bunch of people that can relate to not measuring up, essentially. And it makes them feel better about not measuring up or not having a certain outcome.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that it is, like I said, it is something empowering in some weird, way that you have found your people.